This video is about debunking argumentation ethics, the non-aggression principle version, where argumentation is used to derive the non-aggression principle. So, in logic, there are two types of logical quantifiers used in statements. Existential statements, where they use keywords like there exists or some, and universal statements, where they use the quantifiers all or none. And there are two types of conditions used in logical statements. The more important one for argumentation ethics is the necessary conditions, because they claim that the non-aggression principle is a necessary condition for argumentation, which is a fallacious argument. So in general, a necessary condition is one, possibly one of multiple conditions that must be present in order for another condition to occur. And so with argumentation ethics, Austrians, or the Austrian School, commits induction fallacy by conflating an existential statement with a universal statement when trying to derive a necessary condition for argumentation. When trying to derive the necessary conditions for argumentation, a dishonest or incompetent member of the Austrian School will try to get an unknowing person to agree that the universal statement of the non-aggression principle, or that non-aggression should be used for all interactions, is the necessary condition for argumentation, but doing so commits induction fallacy or overgeneralization. The only thing that is necessary is the existence of non-aggression, or non-aggression should be used for some interactions and not the universal application of it. This means that anyone can rationally argue that aggression should be used for some interactions, which I think is a valid argument, and still remain consistent with the necessary condition that non-aggression should be used for some interactions. So I agree that non-aggression should be used for some interactions is a necessary condition for argumentation. This is obvious, right? The only thing you can conclude when someone argues is that they're respecting the facilities that are necessary to have the argument, both his and their opponents. But that doesn't mean at every instance that person prefers non-aggression over aggression. And one can still make an argument that aggression should be used in some circumstances, as long as they're not referring to an exact instance where they're not using non-aggression, or they can refer to somebody else using aggression. Like, for instance, I can make an argument that people should cut the throats of people when they're asleep. And since this is not referencing this particular instance of arguing, I am making no performative contradiction. So this logical blunder by Hans Hermann Hoppe and the members of the Austrian school that present argumentation ethics as a valid argument is a permanent stain on the reputation and a demonstration of the incompetence that pervades Austrian analysis.